In this video I'm going to demonstrate how to use the Plasma Photoshop action. So what we're going to be doing is turning this photo into this. It's just a couple of clicks. So from that to that. Alright, so open up Photoshop, open up a photo, and the first thing you want to check is that your photo is set as a background. So if it's not, you don't have that background text with a lock symbol, just go to Layer, New Background from Layer, and it will set it as a background. So a couple of other things you want to check before running the action. If you go to the image menu, go to Mode, make sure you're in RGB color mode and 8 bits a channel, and also make sure that you're using a fairly good size photo. Use 1100 by 1700 here. Anything under 1000 pixels, it just increases the chances of the action causing some errors. So work it around that range or a little bit over this is good. And also ensure that your photo's got a good range of colors and good contrast, because it only makes the action work a lot better. Another thing you want to check is in the layer panel. If you go to this top right hand corner icon and go to the panel options, just check that add copy to copied layers and groups is selected. Okay, so one thing you want to just make sure before running the action, I'll just open this photo again, is that you notice that I've extended the size of our canvas down. It's because when you play this action, there are streaks of, let's just call it, let's call it plasma, that go down. So you can see the bottom of our canvas ends here. So we want to actually get all that in, and we want some room up top. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to go to Image, Canvas Size. I'm just going to change this to pixels, and I'm just going to add 1000 pixels down. So now when we run the action, you're going to get those plasma streaks hanging down the bottom here. Alright, so let's light up our actions panel. So go Window, Actions, and go to this top right hand corner icon, select Load Actions, select the plasma.atm file, and it appears here. So there's only one step involved in getting this action to work. Alright, we create a new layer, call it Brush. No uppercase letters, must be all lowercase for the action to work. Alright, now what we do now is we grab a brush, and you can choose any color, something that's going to stand out, and we want to brush where we want to apply the effect. So just bear with me, I'm just going to brush over this photo here. You don't need to be too precise where you brush. You can leave some of the edges untouched. Alright, I think that'll do, and that's all you need to do. Now the action's ready to go, so just select the action and click play. It'll take about a minute for it to run, so just click play and then come back to Photoshop in a minute's time, and then we can start tweaking the colours and that. But I'll fast forward the video after click play and we'll check out the result. Okay, the action's stopped and this is what we have. I've just applied this color set to the default look of the action. So this is the initial colors that you'll get, but I'm going to talk about how you can change all that now. So let's just close that and we'll go into the layer panel. Just close up that folder and we'll go from the top. So we have our initial area that we brushed, and you can see that everything grows out from where we brushed. So keep that in mind when you're brushing over your photo. Just a quick look at the before and after. As you're working away, you can reference the initial photo. Add saturation, so this is just an overall adjustment layer. You can increase or decrease the saturation, you can mess around with the colors, you can target individual colours, so I can go into the yellows and I can change that up. Alright, so we'll just leave that. Add contrast. If you select this layer and adjust the opacity, you can see what it's doing there. So I like to usually keep this reasonably low, but you can mess around with that one. Add sharpening. By default I've left that off. You can turn that on to add a bit of overall sharpening to your design. Leave that one off. Reveal original photo. I'll come back to that one and I'll explain what that one does. At the bottom here we have the background layer. So in this one, so by default I've put on this gradient overlay. You can turn that one off if you want. And yeah, just keep it here. Alright, so we have our main folder Plasma, which has everything in it. And if you go inside, we have all of our layers to work with. Alright, so I'll go through and explain how I set this up now. And what I recommend you do is start from the bottom. Go inside this folder, go all the way to the bottom here. And the way I've structured it is that you can see everything's grouped in colours. So we have our main splash layer. This one is splash 13, so I'll just move this one around. You can see there it is there. That one sits right at the back there. And then we have our colour, splash 13 colour, so I can just double click on this and this is where you change the colour. Alright? Just like that. So we're going to try rebuild this one here. Alright, and if you don't want to use that, or you can start off with that, but then you can double click on this randomised colour above, and if you want you can just mess around with dragging this slider around to preview or choose different colours. Alright, so that's how it works going up the layer panel here. Okay, so let's go up to layer 12 and let's start colouring this plasma. Alright, so let's choose a dark red. And what I like to do, if you're unsure of which one you're colouring, just quickly flick the eye on and off, like this, so then you can clearly see what part you're working on. Alright, so done that. This folder here is our original photo. So you can see if I turn that one on and off, you can see that's the area that we cut out. That's where you brushed. Alright, so I'll come back to this one at the end. We'll jump inside that folder. But keep going up. This one here is black edge highlight, so I've moved this one to the side. It's just a simple uses blend modes overlay on top of your photo, like that. It's masked to your photo, so you can turn the one on and off. It's up to you if you want to keep it. Splash 11. Alright, let's go up the line here. So what I'm going to do, turn this one. So this one here, splash number 11, is the one that sits on top of your photo. So if I just move it out the side, you can see that rest excuse me, on top of the photo that we cut out. So if I just change this to a red, you can see that there. And what I like to do, if red is my color theme, what I'll do, I'll click on this box, I'll just use the eyedropper tool and I'll just select one of these red colors here to keep it consistent. Alright, so let's go up. I'll check this one. So this is just this little streak here. Let's just turn these red. Again, another streak. Let's just turn it red again. Alright, this one here. Okay, so this one we will try. Let's just go a brighter red. And you'll see on this how it's got an X through the mask. You can just tick that on and off. But what it's basically doing is protecting the area that we brushed. So if I hide that mask, you can see that that plasma layer overlays on top of our photo. You'll find that sometimes you don't want all that detail on top of your photo, so I've just hidden it. So, but you can just click that on to mask it around that photo. So then you can grab a brush, for example, grab yourself a white brush, and I can brush that in. See that there? So you've got a bit of control there using the mask. Alright, let's keep going up. This one here, let's have a look. Okay, this let's try red. Let's keep it at that. Now I don't want this, see this bit here over the face, so what I'll do, I will select this layer here and I can just brush in where I want that one. Alright, so it was up there, but I don't want that. Okay. Alright, let's get going up. This one here, I generally like to keep black on the action, but you can sort of play around with different colours. Let's try picking this. Let's go a deeper red. Something like that will do. Okay, let's get going. That one there. Now in this, in this example, we've got that cyan colour. So let's check that out. So I'll just use the eyedrop colour picker tool and select that colour. Now these top two are these dots that you see flying around. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Red. So what you can do, if you want to say duplicate these dots, but you want to keep these adjustment layers, just shift select those three colours, Control G to group them, and then you can just duplicate this group and then move it around. Okay, so I'll just, you can do that for any of these layers. Alright, randomised splash colours, you can use this one here to quickly preview or use some different colours. That's pretty cool there, that one. You can mess around with that. Now this layer above, reveal original photo, if I hide this mask, you can see that doesn't look that great, but what it's done is enabled us to use this mask to brush away anything overall we don't want sitting on top of the photo. So I don't want, so there's a little blob on her eye, I don't want that, so I'm just going to grab a white brush, select this mask, just going to brush into it like that. Alright, so just keep that in mind. Alright, so let's go back into the plasma folder and down to the original photo adjustments. We'll go inside here. Now keep in mind, there is if I turn this one on, the black edge highlight, if you turn the original photo extract layer off, and we'll turn off this one as well, you get quite a cool effect there. It takes away the photo but keeps the outlines, which looks pretty sweet, so just keep that in mind, that's something you can do. So this layer here, photo filter, if you want to apply a colour tint over your photo, you can just play around with the density and adjust these if you want. So we'll just add a bit of red. Adjust colour, you can mess around with this here. Add contrast, if you turn this one on and you adjust the opacity, you see it's just adding a bit of contrast to the photo. You can add a colour overlay if you want, and this one here, adjust colour overlay. So this is a hue and saturation slider, so you can adjust the saturation, mess around with the colours. So in this example, I coloured it red, her clothes, so something, turn up this saturation. Something like that. Alright. I might just brush away a little bit of this, like that. So yeah, really just use this layer to, it's this little blob on your model's eye or over nose or mouth or whatever, just use that one there. Okay, so that's really all there is to it. What you can also experiment with, if you haven't adjusted the canvas size, you can turn this background layer off, and you can blend it on it's all transparent, so you can see it on top of your original background, but you can see that I've extended the canvas down, so that doesn't work. So I would just, I could blend that, but this is fine for the moment. Alright, so that's it. So you finish your design, and what you might want to do now is add a bit of sharpening. So we'll just go ahead and flatten the image, because I'll show you something else where you can check out. So let's go layer, flatten image. Yep, let's do that, and we'll go sharpen, smart sharpen. Like to use a radius generally around 0.3, something like that's good. Alright, now what I like to do a lot is add some subtle glows to these. So if I create a new layer, and I'll set the blend mode to add, grab a brush, grab a soft brush, so right click, soft brush, set the opacity of this to about, actually we'll keep it at 100, and we'll grab a red. Now watch what happens when I brush, so you get these cool glows. Alright, so what you can do then, we'll just brush it in 2 spots, like that, and we can adjust this layer opacity like that. So what I can do now, I might grab this color, and something like that. So overlaying glows on top of this action looks really cool as well. And also, if you've got some, if you bought some color grading actions, use them to so you can experiment with different colors. I've got a set of 200 called Photo Master on Graphic River. I'll put the link below in the description, but ton of different looks here, and I've got some contrast settings where you can apply some, say, HDR light, which adds some nice sharpening. You can adjust the opacity of it there. Okay, that's it. I hope you enjoy using it, and if you've got any questions, let me know. If not, have fun. Thanks.